What is going on, YouTube? Phil Storytime here, back with another video. This is part 2 of the top 150 rappers of all time list. This video will be covering number 100 through number 51. Now, as a reminder of the criteria, and I do not believe I talked about this in the last video, so I apologize for that. Any unreleased material by any of these artists do not count. That really won't impact. It really didn't impact last video. It really doesn't impact this video, but you will start to see it a lot next video whenever we start to get down to the top 15, top 20, around that range. That's whenever you start to hear me talk more about, like, well, they'd be higher if unreleased stuff count. But I think in this video it does not. I just wanted to clarify. Also, to be on this list and to qualify for this list, you have to have at least one banger. At least one banger. I don't care if it's a verse. I don't care if it's a song that you made. And the last one is, which we will talk about later, bands and band members are separate people. So, for an example, Quavo from the Migos would be on the list differently than the Migos. And any songs that are under the Migos, like I count, for me, I use Spotify. So if Spotify says it's a Migos song and not a Quavo song, that counts as the Migos song and not a Quavo song. So, but again, if it's like he's featuring on DJ Khaled, then it counts as a Quavo verse, not a Migos verse. So I just thought I'd clarify that. And without further ado, let's get into the list. So number 101, in case any of you guys forgot, was Machine Gun Kelly. Quite the controversial pick, I think so, but I think he deserved that spot. Now, number 100, I say, is almost the complete opposite person and rapper than MGK. And at number 100, I have Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's kind of a weird case when it comes to rappers, because I feel like he's just a much better producer than he is a rapper. But even as a rapper, he deserves to be on this list. I mean, just for Keep Their Heads Ringing alone, absolute certified mega banger. And I will be using that term a lot more going forward. The further on in the list we go, the more I need them to have a mega banger. And a mega banger is just a banger that is mega. It is pretty simple. And there's, again, really no way to quantify what exactly a mega banger is. It's just one of those songs you hear and you're just like, you lock in on it. You know, a banger, you can be like, whoo, forgot about this one. And, you bob your head. Mega banger's got to be you drop everything. You're in the middle of homework, you pause your homework to listen to the mega banger. You're driving, you turn it up. You turn the volume up for the mega banger, right? That being said, Keep Their Heads Ringing is a mega banger, but really outside of that, he doesn't have much. California Love, great song. Dr. Dre's not the best part of that. Tupac is, right? So it's one of those things of, like, outside of those two songs, or the one song in the feature, he doesn't really have much going for him as a rapper. As a producer, completely different story. Top 3, top 5 at the very least, producer of all time. But this is just rapping ability, and so I cannot put Dr. Dre any higher than number 100. Now, at number 99, we got somebody else from the same era. Somebody that, while I believe is significantly better than their competition, I still don't think they're much higher than this. And at number 99, we have Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G., whatever you want to call him. I call him Biggie. Biggie is an interesting case. I am under the firm belief that the further back in terms of rap you go, the worse it goes. But Biggie is still really good. And especially in his era, I mean, he was the best rapper in his era. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close at all. Biggie was so good, but still you compare him to other guys, and girls, obviously, that you'll see further on this part and on the next part, and I can't compare him. I can't. He has some mega bangers. He does. But also, I was struggling to find a good Biggie feature. I was looking for a while. I couldn't find one for the longest time. And while he has a lot of banger songs, he does not have a lot of banger features. And that really hurts him. But again, I feel like his consistency and his rapping ability, really everything about him as a rapper, is just slightly better or significantly better than Dr. Dre. That's why I have him at number 99 and not number 100. Now, at number 98, we have the first female on this part of the list, still around the same era, and that is number 98, Mary J. Blige. Now, Mary J. Blige is one of those rappers that if I listen to more of them, I 100% would have her higher. I just haven't listened to a lot of her, and I didn't want this project to be a lot more time intensive than it already was. I did not want to go through and listen to every album for every single rapper that I have in my playlist. That's a lot of work for me, right? And years down the road, I do fully intend to go back to this list and update it and kind of see who moves up and down. But for the time being, I just haven't listened to that much Mary J. Blige. But from what I've listened to, she is very good, right? Now or Never by Kendrick, one of the best Kendrick songs. Mr. Wrong, featuring Drake, one of the best Night Drive songs I've ever heard. Both amazing on that song. Both Drake and her, amazing on that song. But again, I think I've listened to like 2 or 3 other songs from her, and they're okay. I just can't have her any higher when there's people ahead of her on this list that I just feel like I've listened to a lot more, and I could confidently say I'd want this person on a song more than Mary J. Blige. But again, I'm sure she'll eventually get pushed up on the list the more I listen to her. I just haven't as of now. Now, number 97 is somebody that most of you guys would not be expecting to see on this list. Partially, well, mainly because he's in a completely different genre now. But again, for this list, this only counts their rapping. It does not count anything that's non-rap related. So later on in the list, whenever we get to Lil Wayne, I'm not going to count his weird country album, right? I'm not going to count his weird little albums because it's like, why would I? This is a rapper's list. Eventually, I will do a pop ranking list, and so other people will pop up, including the next person on this list. But this is just counting rap. So at number 97, we have Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's an interesting rapper to talk about because he's kind of done with rap, and for good reason. I mean, he's the second biggest artist in the world. Not lower than third. He's anywhere from the biggest to the third biggest. I mean, he headlined the Super Bowl this year, right? Did an amazing job at it, by the way, so shout out Bad Bunny. But this is only from a rap standpoint, right? And he's basically done with that. And so it's one of those weird things of like, you have to look at the kind of small window where he was a rapper and compare that to people that are still rapping. And I feel like he is extremely talented, just musically in general. I feel like definitely his better stuff is the newer stuff, but even then his rap days were really good. And so that's why I have him on this list. And Monaco, and I like that. His verse, and I like that. Banger, absolute banger, carries that song. So again, I have to have him on this list. I feel like 97 is natural for what he did as a rapper. But again, whenever I come out with the pop rapper or pop artist ranking, he will definitely be a lot higher. So stay tuned for Bad Bunny's eventual future ranking in that video. Now, number 96, we have somebody that has higher highs than I think anybody else on this list so far between both parts. But the consistency's bad. It's bad consistency. And at number 96, I have Joey Badass. I don't think I have really much to say about him. I really don't. From what I've listened to, it's like he has Love's Only Feeling, absolutely great Night Drive song, right? One Train by A$AP Rocky, great feature. But outside of that, anything I listen to, I kind of just forget about. Like, it's all forgettable. And I can acknowledge he's good lyrically, but also acknowledge that he kind of just has like 2 bangers and that's it. But those 2 bangers are some of the best Night Drive songs. I love those songs. They're such a vibe. And it's just kind of hard to rank him against other people. And I just could not, in good faith, put him any higher on this list. So that's why I have him here at number 96. Now, number 95 is somebody, honestly, one of the first rappers I've ever listened to, which is crazy thinking back on it, because I don't know why him, of all people, is one of the first people that I started listening to. I even listened to him before he got popular, which is weird because I don't really do that. Like, I'm not an underground rap type of guy. And again, he was never really underground, but he was not more mainstream, I guess, at this point. But at number 5, I have Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas is so odd because he had like one great run for like 2 years. And then after that, he doesn't really have much. Like, I'll listen to some other stuff, and I'm like, I mean, it's fine. But again, so forgettable. And so I feel like, again, this second part is going to be a lot of people that have super mega bangers, and the rest of their discography that I've listened to is super forgettable. And that is the case with Joyner Lucas, where I look at him and I go, sure, he has some mega bangers in a 2 to 3 year span. And then he fell off the face of the earth, and the stuff that I hear from him on the more recent side after those mega bangers are fine. But like, again, I don't know. I just don't have much to say with Joyner Lucas. I mean, he did good on Kamikaze. He did. That's about it. I don't really have much else to say. So I think I'm just going to move on to number 94. So number 94, we have somebody that we actually talked about a few spots back. Somebody that I feel like is overrated by the majority of rap fans. Not majorly, seeing as they still are on this list. And I don't feel like most people would say that they're top even 30 rapper of all time. But I see her in some top 50s, and I strongly disagree, although I can still acknowledge she's a good rapper. So at number 94, we have Cardi B. Cardi B's a weird rapper where I think her best stuff is kind of her least popular stuff. I think Through Your Phone, like, yeah, it's still, I guess, popular, I guess. I haven't really heard anybody talk about it, but like, it's off of a album that, I mean, it won a Grammy. Like, it's popular enough. But I just feel like the more into her catalog you go, the better she gets. Because I feel like most of the stuff that people would look at, again, like, people love them some WAP, right? I don't. I hate that song. And so it's like, I feel like most people overrate her because they see the quote-unquote mega bangers that they think are mega bangers and just aren't. But again, I'm not trying to trash her too much because she is still a really good rapper. It's just she is too overrated, and that's okay, But she is still very good. Through Your Phone, absolute banger. Motorsport. Talk about a song that reaches flow state by everybody. All 4 people reach flow state. That song is peak. If you haven't listened to it in a while, go give Motorsport another listen. Such a banger. Now, at number 93, I have someone that is weird. They're kind of, in a weird way, an Eminem merchant, where they carry Eminem on every song they're on together, and that's just 2. But, like, I'm talking about carry. These 2 verses are great, and we'll talk about them. At number 93, we have Royce da 5'9". Royce da 5'9". I don't know what he's on whenever he's on those Eminem songs. Because, again, I haven't really listened to much Royce da 5'9" non-features, just actual songs by him. So I went through. I listened to 5 to 10. I can't remember exactly how many. And they were fine. Very forgettable. But when bro is on those Eminem songs, I don't know what he's on. I want whatever that guy's on. Because he reaches flow state on those songs. Especially, and it's weird, especially because Eminem doesn't do a great job on either of those songs. Which is kind of odd. So, he's just a weird little Eminem merchant. I can't really put any higher. Because, again, outside of those 2 verses, I don't really see anything from him. But those 2 verses give me so much hope for him as a rapper. And maybe I just haven't found the good stuff. But again, I think number 93 is good for now. And he could definitely eventually move higher in the future. Now, number 92, we have, for this video, for the second video, we have the first person from a band. And that is number 92, Swae Lee. Swae Lee's great. Absolutely great. Definitely the best member of Rae Sremmurd. We'll talk about Rae Sremmurd later. But it's kind of crazy. He's also, like Royce da 5'9", and quite a few people on this section of this list, carried by his features. Again, he's on Sunflower, which, yes, I think the majority of people at this point underrate Sunflower just because everybody heard it 8 billion times on the radio. But it is still so good. It is a mega banger. One of the best songs ever made for a movie. 100%. And his voice on it especially, definitely, at least in my opinion, carries that song. But then, again, his best song is Krabby Step. His best song is like, okay, talk about a difference between features and best songs. Like, I don't know. I can't in good faith put somebody any higher when their best original song is Krabby Step. I just can't. I can't do that. I can't in good faith do that. Now, number 91 is somebody that has been around for a while, for longer than I always remember they have been. And they actually have a movie on Netflix. A good movie, I would say, on Netflix. I'd recommend checking it out. I can't remember what it is called now, but it's still a good movie. Now, at number 91, we have Wiz Khalifa. Wiz Khalifa's interesting. When I think of Wiz Khalifa, for some reason, I think of his acting. Again, I don't really know why. But, like, he does have some bangers. He does have some bangers. I discredit him a little bit more because The Thrill featuring Empire of the Sun is basically The Spins, but worse. And we'll get to The Spins eventually. The Spins is an all-time mega banger, one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. And while The Thrill is still great, it's not The Spins, so I kind of discredit it for that. And I have no idea which one came first. I don't. I have no idea if The Thrill came out first or The Spins came out first. Either way, The Thrill, if I listen to it, I just don't really, like, I'll turn it on, then I'll be like, why am I not listening to The Spins? And I'll just turn on The Spins. It's so much better than The Thrill. But again, The Thrill is still really good. Because again, Empire of the Sun is really good. Now at number 90, I have kind of the first person on this list that I really had to look into technical details about for my list. And I had to make some decisions. And that is because at number 90, we have Ty Dolla $ign. Now, you might be thinking, why'd you have to look into the list for Ty Dolla $ign? It's just Ty Dolla $ign. I was trying to figure out if 530 by him and Kanye counted as a song by him or a song by Kanye. I ended up just saying it is an album through both of them. It's both their albums. So I just said, I'm just going to give him an original song. And that's why 530, best original song for him. 530 is such a banger. But again, he's another one of these where he gets carried by just having good features and no good songs. 530, great song, but again, it's shared with Kanye. And if I didn't have 530 on this list, I'd be struggling. I mean, I could find one that's decent, but like, definitely his best things, or his best rapping skill is features. Although I will say, something that bumped him down on this list, that he was originally higher, something that bumped him down on this list was that he is the worst verse on Sucker for Pain. It's not saying much, because Sucker for Pain is an absolute mega banger, mega banger, great song. But he's the worst part of that song, and I kind of skip his part because, I don't know, why would I listen to his part? It doesn't really add anything. So I really couldn't have any higher, although, again, great album between him and Kanye, great song by 530, and shout out Ty Dolla $ign. Now at number 89, I have somebody that has a very funny story behind them. So, at number 89, we have Vince Staples. Now, I had Vince Staples on my list because I feel like 89 fits him really well. I feel like his rapping skills are very good. 745 is a great song. The Vince Staples Show, also, great show. So I did not have a feature in my playlist, so I decided to go look for one, and I stumbled across what has to be one of the worst songs I have ever heard in my entire life, to the point where I was cackling listening to this song because it was that bad. It was that bad of a feature. And I honestly do recommend you going to listen to it because it is that bad and yet that funny, and nobody does good on the song, which is weird. It is a Dreamville song. It has J. Cole on it, and it has him on it, and it's bad. It is very bad. It also has Jid on it, which is weird because, again, Jid, J. Cole, great rappers. Vince Staples, great rapper. It is called Rembrandt Run It Back off of Revenge of the Dreamers 3 by Dreamville. Please go check out that song. That song is terrible, but it does have one of my favorite rap lines I think I've ever heard, where I'm going to give my best impression here. Vince Staples says, I'm bringing summer back. Absolutely terrible. I apologize for what you just had to hear. But Vince Staples made me hear that. So I feel like anybody and everybody should hear that because it is that bad. But again, Vince Staples, outside of that weird anomaly where Jid, J. Cole, and him do terrible, he's a great rapper. So I still have him here at 89. I just can't have him any higher, especially after listening to that song. No chance he was getting raised up. Now, at number 88, I have another person that really hasn't released much music recently, like Bad Bunny, but especially rap music. At number 88, we have Lil Nas X. Shout out Lil Nas X. He seems like a cool guy. And whenever he was a rapper, he was releasing some heat. I do find it interesting that he really has no features. This is the case, like some people on the last list, where I don't recommend you going to listen to the features. I don't. They're not great. But, like, it's the best one he had. But if we're just talking about Lil Nas X rap songs made by him, his peak is so ridiculous. He has so many mega bangers. But I can't put somebody that does not have any good features high. I can't put them any higher than I feel like this. Because if you have terrible features and you have almost no features to begin with, you just can't be any higher than 88. I really don't think you can. But again, I will cover him again whenever I talk about my best pop artist of all time list. So I'm not done talking about Lil Nas X on this channel, but for now, I am. Now, number 87 is an interesting case where you hear his name and you think, yeah, he's not great. And then you go and you re-listen to and just see just how many bangers he has. And then you're like, okay, maybe he is better than I thought. So at 87, I have Akon. Akon has some bangers. The one thing that holds me back on Akon from putting him any higher is his peak. He kind of had like a 1 to 2 year peak. He had like a 1 album run. And then Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani, which is such a good song. But also, it's because of Gwen Stefani that makes that song good. She does so good on Sweet Escape. But again, he does decent as well. But again, the peak is so short that I just can't put him any higher than anybody else on this list because while he has a lot of mega bangers, he just doesn't have the consistency. And when it comes down to it, to be a good rapper, you have to have consistency. Akon doesn't have that. So because of that, I can't put Akon any higher. Now, number 86 is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's a goofball. And this is probably the first rapper that I've covered so far. It's probably, honestly, I could probably count on one hand how many rappers I'd recommend fully listening to their catalog. And this is one of them. Fun fact. At number 86, I have my GOAT, Babytron. Shout out Babytron. He's such a goofball, but at least he knows he's a goofball, you know? He has some bars. I didn't put it as his best song because it's not, but Half-Blood Prince, Riding Around with the Draco Malfoy, and we have the Harry Potter beat in the background. It's hard to beat peaks like that, but in all seriousness, I just can't put Babytron any higher. I'd love to. I would. But if we're looking at him objectively, he's not that good of a rapper. I really don't think he's good lyrically, even though he's a cornball and it's funny. I just can't justify putting him any higher because I really don't think he's a good lyricist. I think he's just the goofy guy. Now, number 85, speaking of goofy guys, we have one of the goofiest guys of all time, for sure. At 85, we have Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates, overly freaked out Kevin Gates. If you go and look on Spotify, just search up Kevin Gates. One of the top searches is Kevin Gates Freaky Songs. If you click on it, it's darn near his entire catalog, and I think that is hilarious. But yet accurate, because it's Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates has some mega bangers, but again, it's a Babytron thing. I don't think I could put him any higher, because lyrically, he's terrible. He is so bad. But, like, he has some mega bangers. The lyricism's it's just holding him back. It really is. At number 84, ironic enough, we're kind of grouping all of the bad lyricists that still have mega bangers. And even 83. 83 is also the same way, but we'll get to him in a minute. 84, we have NLE Choppa. NLE Choppa has some bangers. He has some mega bangers. But also, he has some low lows. He has some low lows. And he's not cut out for it lyrically. I can't take NLE Choppa seriously. I really can't. I can't tell if that's intentional or not. I mean, it wouldn't sway me either way. But he's just a big cornball. And, like, I've never been impressed by a lyric by NLE Choppa. Unapologetic. I forgot to put who was by, but Unapologetic by Polo G is his best feature. He reaches flow state on that song. So does Polo G. Polo G has some good bars in that song. NLE Choppa doesn't. He just has a great flow. That's why I just can't justify him putting any higher. Good flow does not equal good rapper exactly. Although it does bump you up to number 84. So shout out NLE Choppa. And shout out the donut incident. That is a funny, funny clip. At number 83, we have one of the worst lyricists I think I've ever seen in my life. But he has so many mega bangers. He has so many mega bangers. So many elite beats. At number 83, we have Youngboy. Youngboy is an odd case. He's an odd case. I know he's really high on some people's lists. Shout out Lil Cheese. Lil Cheese has him number 3, I believe. It's in his top 5. For those who don't know, Lil Cheese is my friend. That is an artist. He did not qualify for this list because he doesn't have release songs. But the day Lil Cheese releases some songs, he's going to be on this list without a doubt. He's going to be top 10. I'm just saying that right now. So whenever I go back in the future and re-rank Lil Cheese, you will be seeing on this list. But Lil Cheese had Youngboy very high. And that's okay. I think his flows and his beat selection are elite. He has some mega bangers. But outside of like Nevada, which is such a weird song for Youngboy to make, such a banger though, such a banger. He really doesn't, you can't really understand what he's saying, and in some instances he makes the song worse. Most instances, dare I say. Bandit by Juice WRLD, all-time great song. If we're talking about the unreleased version, if we're talking about the released version, absolute mega banger until Youngboy comes on, and then you just turn it off. But again, he does have some bangers, and his beat selection is insane. And his flows are really good. I just can't, in good faith, put somebody that is so bad lyrically so high or higher than this. So he has to be here at number 83. Now, number 82 is somebody that I guarantee most of you guys haven't thought about in forever. And if so, it's one of those, oh, yeah, I heard that song on the radio or in my Spotify shuffle or whatever. You think about them for 2 seconds, and you never do for another few months. At number 82, we have Roddy Ricch. I just realized I misspelled Roddy Ricch. It was supposed to be 2 C's in Rich. So that is on me, Roddy. My bad. No, he has some bangers. But again, like a lot of people on this list, he has a lot of his rapping career isn't great. But he had like an album or two there that was really good. But again, I would not say he's extremely talented in any area of rap. And with a short window and a short peak, I just can't put Roddy Ricch any higher as much as I want to. Shout out Thailand. What a banger. What a banger. If you want to test some speakers in your car, turn on Thailand. Probably the best song to do that with. Now, at number 81, we have somebody who you could argue is the worst person on this entire list. We'll get to who I actually think is the worst person later on in this list. But at number 81, we have stand-up citizen, King Von. Now, I know what you're saying. You're probably saying, what is he talking about with King Von being a bad person? King Von could never harm a fly. And that's what I thought. But yeah, apparently not. Apparently he killed a lot of people, which is not good. I would not recommend doing that. So L King Von, but that does not affect the ranking at all. He has some peaks. He has some high peaks. And I think, like people that I covered in part 1, we lost him too early. At least as a rapper. I would not say we lost King Von too early as a person, for the record. But as a rapper, we lost him too early. And I think he was still darn near in his peak whenever he passed. And I'm sad because, again, as a rapper, I'm sad. Not as a person. As a rapper, I'm sad. Because he had so many good bangers. I can't remember what the album is called, but the album that has Crazy Story Part 3 on it with the red cover. Such a great album. That is an absolute banger of an album. But again, I just can't put him, in good faith, I can't put him any higher because he just didn't have long enough of a rap career. Now, number 80 is somebody that I could have swore was like 32. Apparently, he's a lot older than 32. I don't know why I thought he was 32. For some reason, I did. Number 80, we have Lupe Fiasco. I don't know why I thought this guy was so young. Show Goes On's an absolute banger. For some reason, I always pictured Lupe Fiasco from The Show Goes On. It's like a 32-year-old. He's not. Apparently, he's been around in the rap game for a long time. Clearly, seeing as he's on Touch the Sky by Kanye West, which shocked me. I don't know. I haven't heard anything new from Lupe Fiasco. I don't know if he's still making music, but from what I've heard, he has some good bangers. Every single song from him I've heard, I've liked. I just haven't listened to enough Lupe Fiasco, and I feel like he's definitely going to be somebody that eventually will be brought higher on a eventual re-examination of this list. But for now, I have him here at number 80. Now, number 79 is who I believe has the lowest Spotify monthly listeners out of everybody on this list. I could be wrong. Could be 556 Karami from last list. But I believe he actually has less than her. So at number 79, we have Uno David. Uno David really hasn't released much music, which is why I can't put him any higher. But the one album, I think it was the only album released, the Red album, every single song on that album is a banger. He has such a good vibe for like a heartbroken thing, right? Which at a certain point in my life, years and years ago, probably 5 years ago at this point, still during COVID time, it hit. It really hit. And going back and listening to it, it's still really good. But the thing with making sad heartbreak songs is it's just so hard to keep popularity and consistency, because with some other people that make heartbreak songs, you can only hear so many heartbreak songs before it's just too much. At least for me. I think Uno David is still one of the best heartbreak artists I've ever heard, though. But again, he just doesn't release enough to be higher on this list, and I really wish he did. Uno David, please release more. You're really good. It's just very unfortunate that he is not released anymore, so I have to have him here at number 79. Now, number 78, we got the first Little on this part of the list. And somebody that, on paper, I was originally going to have a lot higher, but then I looked at their songs and I'm like, I don't know. They have less bangers than I thought they did, although they still have bangers. Number 78, we have Lil Durk. He's on Three-Headed Goat, right? But I believe he's objectively the worst part of Three-Headed Goat. And I feel like Lil Baby and Polo G just do so well in that song. And Lil Durk does okay. But, like, he's not helping that much on that song, right? Sharing Locations is a good feature. And it's a banger. It's just not a mega banger. He has no mega bangers, but he consistently releases bangers. Just no mega bangers. And that's unfortunate. And I feel like the 70, 80, or 80 to 60 range really is kind of the spot where it's like you don't have many mega bangers. You just have a couple, if any. And at this point in this list, part 2 is a very... You can see the flaws, right? Some people aren't good lyrically. Some people don't have good consistency. Some people haven't dropped enough. Some people don't have mega bangers, like Lil Durk. And Lil Durk's thing is just he just doesn't have enough. He just doesn't have any mega bangers, although he has a lot of bangers. Lil Durk, please drop some mega bangers. I think you're a good artist. I really want to hear some mega bangers from Lil Durk. So I'm definitely going to keep an eye out for Lil Durk. And we'll see in the future if he goes up higher on this list or not. Now, number 77, again, somebody, this person has a lot of mega bangers, but does not have the consistency. As much as I love her and I'm rooting for her, right? And she just announced as of when I'm making this, it was probably 4 days ago. She just announced she's pregnant. That is Latto. Latto is a very interesting case because I feel like she has she's really good a lot of the time, but then the rest of her discography is just so like meh. We're like, I can't remember what the album is, but the album with Somebody, right? Somebody's such a banger, right? The rest of the album, extremely forgettable. And I just want her to release more bangers, But like, she has so many mega bangers, just not many bangers, and that's kind of unfortunate. And I can't, in good faith, put her any higher when she doesn't have that many bangers. I mean, the bangers she has are mega bangers, which helps. But I just can't. I can't put her any higher than number 77, unfortunately. So that's why she's here at number 77. So shout out Latto. Shout out her pregnancy. I hope that goes well for her. And yeah, shout out Latto. I hope she puts out more music after the pregnancy's done. Or I don't even know if she'll be recording during the pregnancy. I assume not. That would not seem fun. But either way, at number 76, we have another artist that Lil Cheese really likes, and this artist is really good, to be fair, but he has a few mega bangers, and that's it. Like, I'm talking 2 or 3. And at this point in this list, you need more than 2 or 3 mega bangers, especially because he doesn't have bangers. He just has 2 or 3 mega bangers. So at number 76, we have Tee Grizzley. Tee Grizzley is really good. First Day Out, dare I say, First Day Out, top 5 edit song of all time in TikTok history. Such a good edit song. Such a good song. Such a mega banger. But again, outside of that, in The Sopranos, he doesn't have many mega bangers. He doesn't have many bangers in general. And so it's kind of a weird, unfortunate thing, again, from my experience. And Lil Cheese has him a lot higher because Lil Cheese has listened to, I believe, every single Tee Grizzley song. I have not. I've listened to like one album and that's it. So I just can't put him any higher, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to. But again, I feel like in time, Tee Grizzley will get bumped up this list. But as of now, I have him here at number 76. Number 75 is yet another person that has a atrocious lyrics most of the time. Lyrically is terrible, but dang, do they have good beats and flows. And at number 75, we have Kodak Black. ZZ is an absolute certified mega banger. Also, one of the best rap music videos of all time for many different reasons. I like that music video is very funny. That's one of very few songs that I will listen or watch the music video for. I think it's very funny. But that does not factor into the song and how much I like it or how good I think it is. But it is a mega banger, one of the best rap beats of all time. But again, then you get to a lot of his other songs and a lot of his other popular songs, and they're either bangers or borderline bangers, but he only has one mega banger. And again, at this point in this list, you need quite a few mega bangers and you need quite a few bangers. And he has quite a few bangers part, but also he's bad lyrically, and he only has one mega banger. So I can't put Kodak any higher, unfortunately. I really don't think this placement's going to change much. I don't have faith in the future of Kodak. I feel like the longer we go into Kodak's career, not the worse he gets, but kind of the more it's just like, it's fine. So, again, maybe he'll drop something soon that's just insane, but I don't think he will, unfortunately. Number 74, we have the last member of the Migos. We have Offset. Shout out Offset. Originally, I had him as the second best Migo behind Takeoff, And then I basically just flip-flopped their position. If you don't remember, Takeoff was in the first video. I don't know what it was, but for the longest time, I always thought Takeoff was better than Offset. I obviously think Quavo's definitely the worst out of the three. But for a while, I just always thought, like, Offset is worse than Takeoff. And then I re-listened to a lot of stuff, and I realized I was wrong, and I don't know why I thought Offset was ever worse than Takeoff. Offset not only has a certified mega banger in Ric Flair Drip, he also has some great features, like Celebrate by Juice WRLD, which is such a good song. Such a good song. And he adds to it really well. But again, I feel like he just doesn't have that much outside of the Migos. He doesn't release that much. But like what he does release is really good. I just can't put him any higher because he just doesn't have the output that you need to be any higher than the spot. Now, number 73 is somebody that my roommate actually put me on, so shout out to my roommate. Number 73 we have, and I don't exactly know how to pronounce his name, but 73 is Dro Kenji, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He has some mega bangers. The problem with Dro Kenji is I just haven't listened to enough. Tightrope is a phenomenal song. Shout out Spotify, my roommate Spotify DJ for playing it, because that song is a mega banger. I just haven't listened to too much Dro Kenji, and that's why I can't put him any higher. I wish I could. I just unfortunately don't feel like I can. Now, number 72 is interesting. It starts a 3-rapper run from 72 to 71 to 70 of people that at one point I considered to be top 15 rappers of all time. And then I looked into it, and all of them really only have one banger verse throughout their entire history. And all of these guys are very well-known rappers. They just don't have more than one mega banger verse. And so, unfortunately, I just can't put them any higher. I'm going to do a little rapid fire here and just kind of explain. But all of them fall under the same umbrella. So that's why I thought I'd talk about them all at once. 72, Jay-Z, Empire State of Mind. Great verse. Pound Cake, great song. Jay-Z doesn't do much. Also, Jay-Z's a bad person, unrelated. But 71, Rick Ross, Aston Martin Music, great song. Devil in a New Dress, absolute banger verse. One of the best verses I've ever heard in my life. Number 70 is Andre 3000. I don't really have much to say with Jay-Z and Rick Ross that I didn't just say. They both have a mega banger verse. And outside of that, they're very okay, right? Again, I wouldn't say either of these three are bad. My problem, the reason I have Andre 3000 highest is I believe Life of the Party by Kanye West, Andre's verse on Life of the Party, is the best rap verse of all time. But the interesting thing is, since his Outkast discography does not count, all of his other music, I'm just going to say it, all of his other music sucks. He has a few songs, a couple songs with words, right? And those songs are not good. And the songs without words, where it's just him playing instruments and stuff, is also not good. I would not say it's bad. I think the songs he has independently, like his original songs where he actually raps, are bad. The songs otherwise, A, are not rap songs, but B, are just bad in general. And whenever you have like a couple songs released, and then the greatest rap verse of all time, it makes it very hard to place. And so I think here is a good spot, at least for now. Again, his Outkast days do not count. But shout out Andre on Life of the Party. What I believe to be the greatest verse of all time. Again, he just does not have any other music that could put him higher than this. And that makes me sad, but that's how it is. Number 69, nice. We have something that's actually kind of funny to be at 69 because I think this guy fits the vibe. of the number 69, and that is Big Sean. Shout out Big Sean. I don't know why. I always laugh when I think of Big Sean. I think some people might be mad. I have Big Sean above Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and Andre. But in my defense, yeah, he might not be as good lyrically or have one all-time verse, but he has a lot of mega bangers. He has a lot of bangers, and we're getting to that point in the list where you need both. And he has a lot, or a decent amount of both, I should say. Way Out by Jack Harlow, such a good song, such a good verse. He just has a lot of really good music, but I can't put him any higher because as much as he has mega bangers and bangers, I don't think lyrically he's near good enough to make it much higher. I could see myself in the future bumping him up a couple spots, but like right now, I feel like this is a good spot for him. Now, at number 68, we have one of the best rappers when it just comes to like night drive vibes. I think I haven't heard a song that, at least that I can think of, that is not a night drive song by him, but he does such a good job with the night drive songs. So at number 68, we have Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow is really good. I think Die Young featuring 347 Aiden is really, really good. It is a super mega banger. Wait on Me by Chef G, also a mega banger. He has a ton of mega bangers. Well, not a ton. He has like 5 to 6 mega bangers. But outside of the mega bangers, he doesn't really have any bangers, right? And I feel like, again, at a certain point, especially once we start getting like top 20, versatility is the thing that differentiates people whenever we start getting really, really high on the list. And he just doesn't have versatility. I haven't heard a song by him that is not just a night drive song. And when he does really good on those. He's not the best of all time when it comes to night drive songs, right? And I just don't think I can put him any higher because his versatility is not great. And he doesn't have enough consistency. He has the mega bangers. He doesn't have the consistency. Now at number 6-7. 6-7. I think I'm going to hit like 6 or 7. 6-7 of these 6-7s. Number 67. We have the worst person on this list. Ironic enough for the funny number. We have Zillakami. Zillakami is such a good artist and such a bad person. Allegedly, I do want to say allegedly a bad person. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Zillakami. I'm sure it's going to pop up. Or look up Zillakami allegations. Either way, it's going to pop up. It's a shame, but that's unrelated. I just wanted to say, I know the allegations. It's unfortunate. But he's still a great rapper. He's still a great rapper. And so it's kind of a shame I put him this high. But lyrically, he's really good. He has a lot of mega bangers. Again, the thing that holds him back from being any higher than 6-7 is he just doesn't have... He doesn't have enough bangers. He just has like a couple mega bangers. But those mega bangers, like Bleach featuring Denzel Curry, he outdoes Denzel Curry, who, spoiler alert, is on this list. Like, I haven't covered him for a reason. He's not off the list. He outdoes Denzel Curry, who I consider to be one of the best lyricists I've ever heard. And I think that's crazy. He's just such a good artist. Such a bad person. But either way, the amount of bangers is not good enough to be any higher than this. So Zillakami is at number 6-7. Now, number 66 is somebody that is unfortunately gone and was gone way too soon. And somebody that honestly would be a lot higher if he was still here today. Number 66, we have Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke, one of the coolest voices in the rap game. I mean, off the top of my head, him, Rick Ross, kind of in the list. Both of their voices sound cool. I think Pop Smoke has so many bangers, and I feel like for his voice being like it is, you really probably wouldn't have to be good lyrically, but Pop Smoke's still good lyrically. Even if he's not great lyrically, he's still good lyrically. It's just kind of one of those things of like, he was on pace to be like a top 30, top 20 rapper of all time. He's just gone too soon. And to my knowledge, his estate's not releasing any more music. So I just could not have him any higher, and I really wish I could. I wish he was still with us so it could be higher. But unfortunately, for the rap career he had, he is here at number 66. Now, at number 65, we have somebody that I always get confused with Yo Gotti, which is fair. But either way, 65, we have Moneybagg Yo. Shout out Moneybagg Yo. He's on a Morgan Wallen song, which is interesting to me that they collaborated. Lil Durk is also on a Morgan Wallen song. I don't know why so many people in part 2 of this list are on Morgan Wallen songs. Next thing I know, Lotto's going to be on a Morgan Wallen song. Apparently, that would sound about right for the pace that this list is going on. But either way, Moneybagg Yo, very good artist, but he has similar problems to Zilla Kami, where he has some mega bangers. He just doesn't have many bangers, and the mega bangers aren't like 10. We're not talking about 10 mega bangers, because that can make up for no more regular bangers. It's like 2 or 3, which is still good. And again, I really don't have a complaint as him as a rapper. I think he's good lyrically. I think his beat selection's good. I think his flows are good. I just realistically don't think I could put him any higher, unfortunately. Now, at number 64, we have somebody that you can argue isn't a rapper. I would 100% argue is a rapper. But at number 64, we have Bryson Tiller. Bryson Tiller, if you count him as a rapper, is really, really good. He has some absolute bangers. Whatever She Wants is one of my favorite songs of all time. I absolutely love that song. Wild Thoughts is a great verse. The problem for me with Bryson Tiller is I just haven't listened to enough of him. I haven't, and I fully believe that once I do, I'm going to have him higher on this list. I just haven't listened to enough. That's why, again, everyone else ahead of him, I've listened to more of. And I know Bryson Tiller is a good artist, and I know I'll find the consistency I need whenever I look deeper into his catalog. I just haven't looked very deep, and so unfortunately, I can't in good faith put him any higher than number 64. Now, at number 63, we have, I believe, the last band on this part of the list. It is indeed the last band, or not band, group, I should say, on the part 2 of this list. Number 63, we have Suicide Boys. Suicide Boys has some mega bangers, but again, the problem, like Moneybagg Yo, like Zilla Kami, they don't have many bangers. They just have a couple mega bangers. And again, in this kind of 70s, 60s spot, you're going to see a lot of those things where it's like they have some mega bangers. And To Those I Love, Thanks for Sticking Around, is such a perfect song. Such a perfect song. I say this a lot, but it's one of my favorite songs of all time. Probably top 20 favorite song of all time. I adore that song. But outside of that, and another song that's escaping my mind right now, I wouldn't say the consistency's great. And that's kind of unfortunate. They don't have many bangers. They just have 2 mega bangers. And 2 mega bangers is going to get you to the 60s. It's just not going to get you much higher than the 60s, unfortunately. Now, at number 62, we have, I would say, the goofiest rapper on this list. But we have Baby Tron on this list. And NLE Choppa. And Kevin Gates. There's a lot of corny people on this list. At number 62, we have DaBaby. Let's go. It's a bad little DaBaby impression, but it's okay. It's okay. Shout out Walmart, by the way. If you know, you know. DaBaby has some really high highs, but he doesn't have mega bangers. I'd say Under the Sun by Dreamville. One of the best rap verses I've ever heard. Outside of that, he's very good, not very great. He has a lot of bangers, not mega bangers. So he has really good consistency. He just doesn't have the peaks outside of the one time he decided to go crazy on Under the Sun. And thank goodness he did. That is such a good song. I just don't think he's good, not great. And for to be any higher, especially top 50, you have to be great or better. And personally, I don't think he is great, but he's still good. At number 61, we have somebody that a lot of people are really low on, which is fair. It's understandable. His type of music's not for everybody, but I still think he's really good. And I think one day he's going to be top 30. And that's King Carson. Give him some time. Re-listen to some of his songs. Most people will probably be higher on him at that point. He has some really good songs. But the problem with me with King Carson is the lyricism's not really there. And he just doesn't have the longevity. He has a very short peak right now, very short time span that he's been making good rap music. So I need to see more from him. And I think I will. I think when I revisit this list in a couple of years, he's going to be top 30. But right now, I wanted to put him higher. I just can't. I think everybody above him is better, especially when you take into account King Carson's not really a great lyricist. But he will be higher on future lists. And speaking of people that will be higher on future lists, we have number 60, Tana. Tana's another one where he just doesn't have the longevity there. But the peaks are insane. Antisocial? If we're talking about songs where people reach flow state, both of them reach flow state on that song. But again, he needs longevity. He's still so early in his career where like he has a couple mega bangers and a couple bangers, which is great. But whenever we're talking about that over like a 3-year span, you can't really put somebody much higher, especially like top 50, when they've only been doing it for a couple years. Now, at number 59 is somebody that I really thought was going to be higher. I thought they were going to be top 40, top 30. But then I kind of looked at it, and they have a lot of bangers, but not any mega bangers. And again, at this point, yeah, I think he's great lyrically, great banger-wise, great consistency. He's been at it for a while. But when you have no mega bangers, you can't really make it further than the point of this list, and that is number 59, Meek Mill. I would not say Meek Mill has any mega bangers. He has a lot of bangers. Uptown Vibes is such a banger, but it's not a mega banger, and that's the thing. I have probably 10 Meek Mill songs in my playlist. And out of all 10, I'd say all 10 are bangers, but 0 are mega bangers. And whenever you're talking about somebody who is so gifted, but doesn't have any mega bangers, I think these 50s is a great spot. That's why I have him here at number 59. Maybe I'll discover some mega bangers eventually and move them higher. But for now, I think this is a good spot for him. At number 58, we have somebody who is gone too soon. Rest in peace. But he has so much good. But lyrically, great. Beat selection, great. Consistency, great. Bangers, great. Mega bangers, great. Number 58, we have P&B Rock. The thing with P&B Rock, why he's not any higher, is kind of, unfortunately, the Pop Smoke of it all. Where I don't think you can be much higher yes, he has a couple mega bangers and a couple bangers, and he's really good lyrically, and he's really good beat selections. But unfortunately, also, I just realized I forgot to put best feature. My bad, guys. Best feature is Every Day We Lit by YFN Luigi. I don't know. I forgot to put that on the slideshow. That is my bad. I just, unfortunately, it's the thing of he's not going to be releasing music anymore. So, with people that are past or that retired, I leave them in a spot where I don't think they're going to get moved down because I know they're not going to get moved up. And I think this is a good spot for him just because, like, yes, he was really, really good, but people are going to pass him eventually. I think this is a good spot of, like, he's kind of the stopgap of if you become a great rapper, because everybody onwards, I believe, is a great rapper. Really, from Meek Mill onwards is a great rapper. It's just he's kind of the obstacle of, like, if you can pass him, you're a great rapper, and if you can't, you still got some time. And PNB Rock, yeah, he was rapping for a while. I just wish he was around for longer because he was on a great trajectory. He really was. Number 57 is he the first white rapper on this list on part 2? I think he might be. No, he's not. Suicide Boys are. He's the first solo white rapper on this list, at least that I can think of. At number 57, I have G-Eazy. G-Eazy is weird. G-Eazy, I would not say is good lyrically. I would not say has great consistency. But he has so many bangers and so many mega bangers that it makes up for it. Lady Killers 2 is genuinely one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. That song is so good, and it makes me have faith that G-Eazy can be an all-time great rapper. I just haven't seen that from him again, and that's why I can't put him any higher, is I need him to do what he did in Lady Killers 2, but he doesn't, and I just can't in good faith put him any higher, knowing apparently that was just flow state for one day, and he hasn't been able to capture it again. At number 56, we have another great heartbreak rapper. I know we were talking about Uno David earlier, who's great. At 56, I have Ian Dior. Ian Dior is very, very good. Very good. My problem with Ian Dior is he doesn't have any mega bangers. He has the consistency. He's been around in the game for long enough, in my opinion. He has a lot of bangers. He does not have one single mega banger. And that's just kind of unfortunate. Emotions, great song. Seaside, his verse on Seaside by Tekka, great verse. I just, again, you can't make it much higher if you don't have at least one mega banger. And unfortunately, he doesn't. But I have full faith that he's going to get moved up eventually because Ian's just so good. Ian Dior, for reference. Not Ian, not other rap Ian. Ian Dior is just, he's really good. And I think he deserves the spot. And he definitely will move up in the upcoming years. At number 55, we have the last person on this list where you can't understand what they're saying. And that is number 55. We have Gunna. Gunna is so good except lyrically. He has the bangers. He has the mega bangers. He has the consistency. He has everything you could want from a rapper except lyricism. He's so bad lyrically, and that sucks. Oftentimes, he will be the worst part of songs, but also his flow is really good, right? He has so many bangers, so many mega bangers, great peaks, great consistency, where it's like, I don't know where to put him. I put him here. I could see him higher. I could see him lower. Please, Gunna, please get better lyrically so I could put you higher, but I can't put him any higher than 55, as much as I want to. Now, at number 54, we have, I believe, the youngest person on this list, I'm pretty confident the youngest person on this list, and that is number 54, YNWB Slime. Now, most of you guys probably haven't heard of YNWB Slime, which is fair. For those that don't know, YNWB Slime is YNW Melly's brother. Whenever he made his album, I believe it's called Baby Goat. He made his album early double-digit years, I think, like 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that range, maybe 13. That album is one of the best albums I have ever heard in my life. I will recommend that album to anybody. But then I listened to literally anything after that album, and I think it's bad, or at least forgettable at best. And so it's kind of a weird spot of like, I think he released one of the best rap albums of all time, but then everything else is either meh to bad, and I don't really know where to put him, so I just put him here at 54. I could see him dropping down eventually, but please go listen to Baby Goat. That album is so good, especially for the age he made it at. It's impressive. Now, number 53, we have somebody that has very high highs. Very high highs. And I just don't know if the consistency's there. And that sucks because she's one of my favorite rappers of all time. And number 53, I have Flo Milli. I think Flo Milli has so many mega bangers, close to 10 mega bangers. But outside of that, she doesn't really have any bangers. She doesn't really have great consistency. And that sucks. I love Flo Milli. I wish she was higher. But I couldn't. I had to take my bias out of it, of how much I like her as an artist. And I had to just try and make it as subjective as possible of how good of a rapper is she. And I think she's great lyrically. I think beat selection's great. I think she has the mega bangers. The consistency's the problem for me. And unfortunately, I just cannot put her any higher. As much as I want to, I just can't. Now, number 52 is somebody that has more popular songs than most people would realize. But he has a lot of mega bangers, a lot of bangers, and is probably the first person on this list that I'd say I don't see a flaw in. And it's just kind of this is the spot between 53 and 52 of 52 onwards is what I consider to be the Rap Hall of Fame. And anybody that is past, as 52 to number 1, makes the Hall. Now, do they all go first ballot? No. Right? But if I was putting a Hall of Fame together, 52 onwards is the Hall of Fame, the Rap Hall of Fame. And number 52, barely making the cut, but he did make it. And I feel like, again, I love Flo Milli, but the difference between Flo Milli and him is huge. And I think he is definitely the gatekeeper right now for the Hall of Fame. If you're better than him, you make the Hall. If you don't, sorry, you're not in the Hall. Number 52, 24 Karat Golden. People sleep on 24 Karat Golden. He has some bangers. And I know some people are going to be like, well, why am I forgetting of that? The name of the song now, the song with Ian Dior that blew up, the very popular one. Yeah, I fully agree with most people when they say that song's annoying, it's overplayed. I agree. But I'm not talking about his popular stuff, right? I'm talking about games on your phone, right? Stuff like that. And off of that album, I can't remember what that album's called, but there's a fantastic song between him and Fetty Wap that is all-time good. It's not best song because Games on Your Phone is also an all-time song. That album is an all-time album. And I feel like, yes, 24 Karat Gold is not first ballot Hall of Fame. He definitely deserves to be in the Hall. And I'm excited to see what he does going forward because he is so good in every aspect of rap, and I really don't have any complaints. Number 51, the last person on this list, was unfortunately gone too soon, but still had insanely high peaks when they were here, and even stuff that's released and surpassing has been top notch. Number 51, we have XXX Tentacion. He has some heat. He has everything you could want. He has mega bangers. He has bangers. He has good lyrics. He has great beat selection. He has great consistency. He has not a great longevity, but that's because of his passing, which is unfortunate. And that's why I can't put him any higher. I can't put him any higher because his longevity is not good enough because of his passing, not because he's just not cut out for it or anything like that, right? Or anybody else on this list where you can look at it and go, they didn't have a great consistency or longevity because they just weren't great after a year or two. His problem was he was good the entire time he was rapping. He was really good. But now he can't rap. And that's unfortunate. But because of that, I can't put him any higher. But he still makes the Hall. So shout out XXX. We miss you. And thank you for everything you've done for rap. It was very good. Wish we could have seen more of it, though. Now, here is the 50 we covered today. I will run through it super quick. Number 100 to 51, we have Dr. Dre, Biggie, Mary J. Blige, Bad Bunny, Joey Badass, Joyner Lucas, Cardi B, Royce da 5'9", Sway Lee, Wiz Khalifa, Ty Dolla $ign, Vince Staples, Lil Nas X, Akon, Babytron, Kevin Gates, Nelly Choppa, NBA Youngboy, Roddy Ricch, King Von, Lupe Fiasco, Uno David, Lil Durk, Lotto, T Grizzly, Kodak Black, Offset, Dro Kenji, Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Andre 3000, Big Sean, Sleepy Hollow, Zillakami, Pop Smoke, Moneybagg Yo, Bryson Tiller, Suicide Boys, DaBaby, Ken Carson, Tana, Meek Mill, PNB Rock, G-Eazy, Ian Dior, Gunna, YNW Beastslime, Flo Milli, 24 Karat Golden, and XXX Tentacion. Now, before I end the video, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I apologize it took longer than normal that I'd like to get out. Part 3, I will be rushing. I will make sure, not rushing, but making sure I get that out. Intention is next week, which would be great. So hopefully you guys will see part 3 soon enough. But thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys later.